People who had strict parents, when did you first break their rules? So I was raised in this super strict household where my parents monitored literally everything. I'm talking phone checks, tracking apps, 9 p.m. curfew even on weekends in high school, and the classic no boys allowed rule. My mom had this thing about reputation and was convinced that any freedom would lead to me becoming the neighborhood scandal. Dad just went along with whatever she said. They were the type who needed to know where I was every second and would call the parents of wherever I was staying to confirm I was actually there. Exhausting. I was a total rule follower through most of high school TBH. Straight A's, the whole perfect daughter package. But by senior year, I was so done with being micromanaged. I had this friend Claire who was always trying to get me to live a little, but I was too scared of getting caught. So anyway, this story is about the first time I actually broke their rules in a major way. It was May of senior year, like 3 weeks before graduation. Claire told me about this party at Rick's house while his parents were away for the weekend. Rick was this guy who lived across town, not in our school district, which was important because it meant less chance of word getting back to my parents. Claire was like, "You have to come. It's our last chance to have fun before graduation." And I kept saying no because the anxiety of getting caught was too much. But then she mentioned that Max would be there. Max was this guy I'd had a crush on forever from our calculus class, and he'd been sending me these looks lately that made me think maybe he was interested too. I spent days stressing about it. The party was on a Saturday night, and my parents thought I was sleeping over at Claire's. They'd already done the whole call her mom to confirm thing, and Claire's mom was cool and covered for us. The plan was to sleep at her house after, so technically I wasn't even lying about where I'd be sleeping. The day of the party, I was literally shaking. I had never deliberately disobeyed them like this before. Claire helped me get ready at her house, and I remember staring at myself in the mirror wearing this outfit that my parents would never have approved of, thinking, who even is this person? We got to Rick's around 10 p.m. and the party was already going. Just maybe 30 people scattered around this big house, music playing, people talking and drinking. I was so nervous I felt sick. Claire immediately found some friends and I just stood there awkwardly holding a cup of water because I was too scared to drink. That's when Max spotted me. He looked surprised but happy and came over like, "Didn't expect to see you here," with this smile that made my stomach flip. We ended up talking for hours, just sitting on Rick's back porch steps, talking about college plans and how ready we were to leave this town. It was the longest conversation we'd ever had. Around 1 a.m., my phone started blowing up. It was my mom. Apparently she had called Claire's mom for something random, and Claire's mom, thinking we were already at the sleepover, mentioned how we'd gone to hang out with friends, but would be back later. My mom freaked and started calling me nonstop. My heart literally dropped to my stomach. Max could see something was wrong, and I just started crying. I showed him all the texts and calls coming in, and explained about my parents. I was having a full panic attack, convinced my life was over. Max was so calm though. He was like, "Okay, let's think this through," while I was spiraling. He helped me come up with a plan. Claire and I would say we went for late night ice cream and lost track of time. He even drove us to get actual ice cream cups as evidence before taking us back to Claire's. I finally called my mom back from Claire's house. She was livid, screaming about trust and how I'd betrayed them. I stuck to our story about ice cream, but she wasn't buying it. She demanded I come home immediately, at 2 a.m. When I got home, they were both waiting. The fight was epic. I'd never stood up to them before, but something in me just snapped. I was 18, 3 weeks from graduation, and they were treating me like a child. I finally told them how their controlling behavior made me feel, how I never learned to make my own decisions because they made them all for me. The crazy thing? My dad actually seemed to hear me. My mom was still furious, but Dad stepped in and was like, "She has a point, Katie." That had never happened before. It was the first time he'd ever taken my side against Mom. I was grounded until graduation, but something fundamental had shifted. They started giving me a little more space. Dad especially made efforts to talk to me about college and independence.